Next topic we're starting is binomial expansion. We've done the first part of this topic in AS, and that was learning how to expand a plus b power n, where a used to be an expression and b used to be an expression, and n used to be an integer value, a positive integer value like 5, 6, 7, 8. It was not negative and it was not a fraction. It was just a positive whole number, positive integer value. And the formula used to be given to us in the formula sheet, where it was something like this: a power n plus nc1, a power n minus 1, p power 1, plus nc2, a power n minus 2, p power 2, and it would go till pn. So the last term used to be pn. The first term is always a power n, and the last term is b power n. So this used to be a finite series. It used to end, and the power of n used to be a positive integer. Now what will happen this year is we will learn how to expand 1 plus x power n, where n could be a fraction value and n could be negative. So the n could be negative and n can be a fraction, a rational number. All right. And this x here is supposed to be a very small value. So the assumption here that we'll use would be that modulus of x is always less than 1. This is an important assumption. You must remember this, that whenever you're applying binomial expansion, this x is a very small value. In fact, this assumption is given in the formula sheet as well. Let me just cut paste that for you guys. So in the formula document that you have with you in the exam, this is what this part looks like. And the first one is what you needed in AS, and the second one is what we just discussed. And see where it says that n is rational. That means that it could be a fraction, it could be a positive value, it could be a negative value, and modulus of x is less than. Again, this is important to remember. All right, now let's directly do example questions. In fact, before that, let's also discuss the expansion of 1 plus x power n. Okay. So how do we expand this? Okay. So the first term is 1 power n, which is just 1. Okay. Then the next term is, this gets multiplied with x. So the next term is nx. Then the next term is n times n minus 1. And divided by 2 factorial, because these are two terms, n and n minus 1, and then you write x square. Next term similarly would be n times n minus 1 times n minus 2 upon, these are 3 terms, so 3 factorial, and then because of that, x cubed. And let's also form the fourth term. That would be n times n minus 1 times n minus 2 times n minus 3. These are 4 terms, so 4 factorial, and then x power 4. And this is an infinite series. It goes on and on and on. It's diverging. The power of x keeps on increasing. So this kind of series has infinite sums, or infinite terms is a better word. Okay, now let's do a couple of examples. Okay, let's expand part A, 1 plus 4x power half. Power is a fraction. That means we're using the expansion we learned today, not the AS one that used to work for integer value only. So another thing you need to ensure is that this value must always be 1. If it's not 1, first you have to make a couple of changes to the expression before you can proceed, which we'll see shortly. But for now, we're all good. First term is 1, power is half, so we can use the binomial expansion we just learned. So the first term is always 1. Second term is nx. So that would be half times 4x. And you would always be told how many terms would be needed in the question. Otherwise, it's an infinite expansion that, like we just discussed. So the question is expand up till x square term. So let me just write that down. Expand till x square, not beyond that. Okay, so this is not x square, so we need to go to the next term. Next term would be n, which is half, times n minus 1, which is half minus 1. Then we write 2 factorial, and then we write x square. X in this case is 4x whole square. This will give us the x square term. So we stop here. First term is 1. Second term is 2x. For the third term, carefully enter all of this in the calculator once and then multiply it with 4 square. Okay, you have to be very careful here. You make a small slip in entering the values in the calculator and you lose a lot of marks. So half times half minus 1 times 16 divided by 2 factorial. I'm getting minus 2. So minus 2 x squared. 1 minus 2. It says minus 2. क्या गलती हुई है? Next plus 2, sorry. There's plus 2, I was looking at the next answer. Okay, this is correct expansion for part A. Part B, which is 1.
minus half नहीं था
Hmm?
मैम n minus half नहीं था
नहीं, half था.
oh okay मैम
Half. Okay. 1 minus 6x power 1 by 3. First term is 1, so we're good to go. So 1 stays 1 plus 1 by 3 nx. So 1 by 3 times x is now minus 6x. Okay. Plus n times n minus 1 upon 2 factorial times x square, which is minus 6x whole square. Okay, so the first term is 1, then minus 2x, and then very carefully, I'm going to enter this in the calculator and multiply it with 36 as well. So 1 by 3 times bracket 1 by 3 minus 1, answer, into 36 divided by 2 factorial. I'm getting minus 4. So this would be minus 4x squared. That is part B. Part C is 1 minus 7x power minus 1. So 1, then plus nx. N is negative 1 and x is also negative 7. Plus n times n minus 1 upon 2 factorial times minus 7x whole square. So we have 1 plus 7x plus minus 1 times minus 1 minus 1 times 49 divided by 2 factorial. I'm getting 49 x squared, which is correct. Okay. Part B. Right, part D. Anybody has any questions so far? 1 plus 3x power minus half. Okay, so first term is 1, then plus nx. So n is minus 2, x is 3x, plus n times n minus 1 upon 2 factorial, and then 3x whole square. That gives us 1 minus 6x, and then minus 2 times minus 2 minus 1 times 9 divided by 2 factorial, which is giving me 27. 27x. Now let's do a past paper question related to this. So the question is, in the expansion of show that in the expansion. This is part A. Show that in the expansion of square root 1 plus 1 by 4x, the first 3 terms are one plus 1 by 8x minus 1 over 128x squared. And B part is hence find the first 3 terms in the expansion of the following. Part 1, square root 1 minus 1 by 4x. Part 2, square root 1 plus 1 by 4x squared and 4 plus x. Let's start with part A. So we have to show that when we expand this, we get this. So square root is power half. So this is 1 plus 1 by 4 power half expanded 1 plus half times 1 by 4x plus half times half minus 1 upon 2 factorial times 1 by 4 x whole square. So this would be half plus 1 over 8 and just quickly confirm that all these values here when multiplied and divided gives us minus 1 over 128. Let's see. Half times bracket half minus 1 times 1 by 16 is equals to divided by 2 factorial, which is giving me minus 1 by 120. Okay, and then x square, of course, और यहाँ पे मुझसे एक x भी miss हो. So we have shown that we do get that expansion, in fact, when we expand that. Okay, so we're done with part A. I'm going to clear the answer space. I hope everybody got that. Okay, now let's do part B. B says hence, that means we have to use the answer of part A. And that's why they had actually asked you to prove it instead of asking you to do it from scratch. That just in case anybody made a silly mistake, getting the sign wrong or anything, they could just fix that and not carry forward that mistake in part B. All right. So in part B, it says, hence expand square root 1 minus 1 over 4x. So tell me what's the difference between this and this? Yes, what's the difference between part A expression and part B1's expression?
Sign change.
The x entry has an opposite sign. First one is 1 by 4x and the second one is minus 1 by 4x. So how will the answer change?
मैम माइनस 1/8 हो जाएगा और प्लस 3 over 128 हो जाएगा x स्क्वायर.
ये प्लस हो जाएगा.
नहीं मैम, ये नहीं, वो 1/8x माइनस हो जाएगा, ये प्लस हो जाएगा. यस मैम.
अच्छा ठीक है, देखते हैं. This x will become negative and this x will become negative. So would you like to change your answer slightly, Heather?
Yes.
How? What is the answer now?
Minus 3 over 128 x squared.
The x square term will not change its sign because when you square a negative number, it will give you a positive answer. So the only impact of the negative sign would be on this one. This will in fact become negative 1 by 8x because x is negative. But when you substitute a negative x in x square, the result is still going to be a positive value. I hope everybody understands that. So the answer of part 1 is simply 1 minus 1 by 8x and minus 1 over 128x squared. That's all. Okay. Now tell me, what is the relationship between this and this? Now x is being replaced with x squared. So you'll go to the expanded form and replace every x with x squared. So in part 2, all you have to do is replace x with x squared. So you get 1 plus 1 upon 8 x squared minus 1 over 128 x power 4. Okay. Part 3. Part 3 is different. It's square root 4 plus x. Remember when we said that you can't apply binomial expansion if there is 4 at this, if the first term is not 1. First, we need to fix that. वैसे भी, you need to change this into this form somehow. This needs to be changed into this form. So what I'll do, I'll take 4 common. So for part 3, there's a square root sign. Inside the square root sign, I'm going to take 4 common. So that first term becomes 1. And the second term becomes, can anybody finish this? If I take 4 common from 4 plus x.
1 over 4x.
Sorry?
1 over 6, 1 over 4x.
1 over 4x. Yes, x gets divided now. So x, this would be x divided by 4. And notice if you multiply this, you get 4 plus x back. So when you take 4 common, 4 becomes 1 and x becomes x by 4. Okay. Now you already know what is square root of 4. That is 2. So what I'll do, I am splitting the third sign onto both of the factors. And this becomes 2 times square root 1 plus x upon 4, which is basically the same as this. This and this, these are identical. So what you'll do with the answer, with the expanded form, you will just multiply 2. So 2 times 1 plus 1 by 8x minus 1 upon 128x squared. That gives us 2 plus 1/4 of x minus 1 upon the 64x squared. Yes, I believe so. So this would be the answer for part 3. We'll talk more about the third case tomorrow, inshallah. Okay. Tomorrow we'll learn how to expand when the first term is not 1. And we have to make it 1 ourselves. I'll see you tomorrow. If you have any questions, please stay back. Take care otherwise. Allah Hafiz.
Yeah.
Allah Hafiz.